So Mario Tennis Fever comes out in just a few days, and I'm actually really excited. Keep an eye out, because I actually might make a few videos on it once it does come out. But this seems like it's gonna be a real return to form for the Mario Sports series, after the last few entries have been underwhelming, to say the least. Well, the series has had the issue of not having nearly enough content, especially for single player. It seems like this game is gonna be rectifying that somewhat by launching with more content than the previous few games in the series. So with Mario Sports on the mind, I've been kind of thinking, what sports haven't we had Mario do yet? He's done tennis, and baseball, and even go-karting, and hoops 3-on-3, and DDO. He's done every sport. So, let me give you some insight into my life. Every year, my family actually goes on skiing trips. We go up to Colorado, where we have some extended family, and ever since I was about 5 years old, my family's gone skiing. I love skiing. It's one of my favorite pastimes when I do it, again, only about once a year. And so, while I was up there this year, I thought to myself, you know who would love it up here? You know who would just have a ball? Mario. Isn't it kind of odd that we haven't had a Mario skiing game yet? In the Olympic Games, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, there's been a few times where we've seen Mario go skiing, but we've never had a dedicated Mario skiing game. And I think it's high time we finally get that Mario skiing game that we've all of us, you included, have always dreamed about. Now, the way that I imagine the game would work, it would be very similar to Wii Ski and Snowboard on the Wii. You would play as your favorite Mario character, and you could probably choose if you want to be on skis or on a snowboard. And you would have a somewhat open world mountain that you could explore. And you could, go up to runs and see if you could get the best time, like you do with skiing. And you could just kind of go along trails, see if there's any secrets or sights you could see. And there could even be NPCs giving you quests to do while you're up there. I think that it could be really fun to have a kind of more open world, bigger event like Mario Sports game, because I think right now the Switch 2 has been lacking in big games that kind of look exciting. And obviously it won't be as exciting as a real 3D Mario or real Mario Kart, but I do think if it's made right and sold right, it could be a step above the other Mario Sports games like tennis or baseball. And imagine if there are like multiple mountains, so you could go on DK Mountain from Mario Kart or Mount Wario again from Mario Kart. Like, it could even be like there's 4 different mountains for you to explore. There's Mount Peach, which is pretty simple, not that difficult. Then you go on to Mount Wario. Alright, this is harder. DK Mountain, a little bit harder. Bowser Mountain, that's the endgame mountain. And they could all be designed differently. Like, obviously they're all snowy, but like Peach could have like castles and like little mushroom huts. Bowser could be like a snowed over volcano. DK could be a jungle snowy mountain. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but I just feel like it's a really unique opportunity to have another like open world Mario kind of adventure without messing with the brand too much. And imagine the graphics that they'd be able to show off. Views from tops of mountains are beautiful. Imagine seeing the advertisement for with the big Switch 2 graphic skyline. I also forgot to mention while recording particle effects. Snow has so many great particle effects that like will show off the Switch 2's graphics, like going through the snow and leaving behind trails and kicking up snow. Like, that'll be the real show, more than the fucking sky. The fucking particle effects will go crazy. I imagine the multiplayer in the game would be very similar to Mario Kart World's multiplayer, where you could both like do a more setup racing multiplayer where you decide what slopes you want to race down and then see who can do faster times in a very setup way. Or you could just both be in the mountain together, exploring together and racing down more casually. Like, I think that there's a lot of options for how you could implement multiplayer, And again, back to modes, I think that there would be this, like, single-player mode that I've been describing that has, you know, you can do time trials down slopes. You can also explore, you know, the catwalks and get quests from NPCs and all that stuff. Again, very similar to Mario Kart World's open world, but I think a little bit more involved. And a little bit less open. I think you'd probably still have to stay to runs on the mountain. You probably couldn't go through. There'd probably be hurdle limits on where you could explore. But I feel like there would also be a lot of use for just like a more setup mode of like, alright, these are the slopes and runs I want to do. Maybe you could even set up a few in a row. And then you just time trial yourself or have opponents to race against. I think it could be a really great online mode. I think it could be a really great single player mode. I think it's just like the obvious game that the Switch 2 needs. Or maybe not needs, but would be so welcome. Because also, when was the last time we've had a new Mario sports game? I genuinely do not know. I want to say it was Super Mario Sluggers? That's if you're not counting like Sports Mix, if you're counting like designated sports games. Which also, side tangent, we do need a new Super Mario Sluggers game. That is overdue. But yeah, I guess I don't have much more to say, but this just feels so obvious to me that I'm kind of mad we haven't had it yet. Super Mario skiing and snowboarding. Make it happen, Nintendo. Mario skiing and snowboards. He's Mario and he is skiing. Ain't that fun? Mario going down a mountain. And all of his friends are going with him. Look at them going so high. Aren't they really cool guys? We all like Mario, so let's go Mario. Yeah, Mario. Mario going down a mountain. He's on a snowboard and Shy Guy is there too. Toad is going down on a toboggan. And Luigi is there, but we don't really care.